Okay, so today is part 2 of our midterm exam review. Okay, so yesterday we pretty much reviewed chapters 1 through 4. Equations, angles, transformations, all that. All right, and then today in our review, it's going to be a little bit on chapter 5 and a lot from chapter 6. All right, so the first thing I want to start with, I believe it's number 22. The graphing, I feel like we have a really good handle on, so I'll leave that one for you guys to do for homework. We'll go over that one on Friday. For today, I want to review this substitution with you. I feel like this is one that we definitely still need some work. Some of you have got it down pat. You could pretty much solve any one of these. Others, we're still making mistakes. So number 22 on your review sheet is the one everybody is working right now. All right, I need you ahead of me on this. Otherwise, if you're just copying, you're not really practicing. All right, so I have this system of equations, and I need you to solve it with substitution. We're going to start there. Number 23, sorry, not 22. We're not doing the graph. You can do that one on your own. We're doing number 23, substitution. All right, so I can see that y equals this. So y equals this. I'm going to plug it in for y on the other equation. All right, so x plus 4 times negative 3x minus 14 equals negative 1. Do you see what I did there? Instead of the y, I plugged this in for y. All right, now I distribute x minus 12x. Where did negative 12x come from? You multiplied 4 times negative 3x. What's 4 times negative 14? Negative 56 equals negative 1. Then combine like terms. How do I know I'm combining like terms versus trying to do opposites? Because they're on the same side. Somebody said together. Yes, they're on the same side of the equation. X minus 12x, negative 11x. Add 56 to both sides. Okay. X equals negative 5. All right. Now go back and plug in negative 5. I went up here and plugged in negative 5. All right. Negative 3 times negative 5 is 15. Minus 14 is 1. Negative 5 and 1. All right, now I had a couple people actually solve for y first, but they still got the same answer. That would be okay too. All right, they solved for y first because they came over here and subtracted 4y to the other side to get x by itself. Okay, now that's it. Just kind of a flipped way of solving, but you can do that too. All right, so substitution. All right, we will review this more, elimination, special systems between Friday and Monday. For today, I want to put a pretty heavy focus on chapter 6, scatter plots, line of best fit, and data displays. We'll also need to talk two-way tables. Okay, we'll work through two-way tables also between Friday and Monday. All right, so scatter plot. We have this information here. Age and height in inches. Okay, height. Does anybody know how many inches tall you are?
I'm 40.
Yes, I am.
So how many inches? That'd be like 52?
60. No.
Katie?
No, I don't know. I need to know what you're writing.
It's chapter 6. It's like one of the last pages.
Inches equals 1 foot, so.
Okay, so I'm 65 inches tall.
Oh, yeah, 52.
Okay, so however many feet times 12, and then add your inches.
So I'm
74.
6'2". That's how tall Rob is too. Okay, so now we can relate, right? So now here's our ages. We have a 15-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 14-year-old, a 12-year-old. And they told me that this is my X value. So what do I want to label down here? Do I want to go by tens? No. On my X-axis? No, my range is pretty close together. I could probably go by twos. All right, and even skip every other one. 2, 4, 6, 8. What would be the blocks in between? Oops, I didn't mean to say 9. 10, 12, it would be the odds. 14. Okay? All right, so there, I can fit all my x values on there. What do I want to do for my y values? I go by 10s every other one. That would be fine. You're still going to, you could start at 20 if you wanted. There's really no need just because we have a lot of space here. Oops, keep messing up. 50, 60, 70. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plot these points on my scatter plot. I'm going to do the first couple with you. Let's see, I've got 15 and 67, so I'm going to follow it all the way over to 15 and up to a 67, right about there. Okay, I'm going to pause it. I'm just going to let you guys kind of fill in the rest of the scatter plot. Okay, so we're not going to do the line of fit for this one. We're just going to focus on the outliers, gaps, and clusters. Is there an outlier now that I have everything plotted? What is it? Yeah, 1440, the 14-year-old at 40 inches. Okay, what about gaps? Is there any gap? Yeah, between what ages? 4 years to 8 years. Okay, remember, we describe gaps by x value. Okay, what about clusters? Did I make a mistake here? Yeah, but there's not really, I mean, normally a cluster would be the same x value. I don't really think there is a cluster. That's my opinion. No clusters. All right. If it was a cluster, we would see it more like boom, boom, boom. Yeah, like something like that. Okay. Obviously, that's not what they gave us there. All right. I'd say no clusters. Okay. Now, let me switch over now to an actual screenshot of your review sheet. There's a pretty heavy focus on your midterm on these types of questions. Actually, on your midterm, this section is almost exactly duplicated, where each one of these is in and of itself its own question. Remember, I'm going to give you options. So I'm going to give you 4 options for the equation of the line of best fit. All right? If you remember with a table of values, you can pick any 2 ordered pairs. You can pick the first 2. You can pick the second 2, you can pick the third 2, you know, whatever, okay? So I would suggest just starting with the first 2. Usually that involves maybe that 0 for x, which could be helpful, all right? And pull those ordered pairs out. 0, 17, 1, 15. With 2 ordered pairs, could I find the information I need for the equation? Yes, what information do I need? Slope
and
Y-intercept.
Yeah.
Can I find slope of the ordered pairs?
Yes.
Absolutely. What about Y-intercept? Yep. Yep, I can find that too. All right, so you're going to pause for a minute. I want you to write the equation. Okay, so did you do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1? Okay, so you get negative 2 over 1. So someone tell me the equation. Someone raise your hand. What is my equation? Maya.
Y equals plus negative 2x
Plus 17, okay? The plus 17 comes with the order pair that's paired with a 0 value for x. So now describe the relationship. This is a separate question on your midterm. As the x values increase, you don't have to put it on a scatter plot to be able to describe it. As the x values are increasing, what's happening to the y values?
They're decreasing.
They're decreasing. So if the x value is increasing and the y value is decreasing, what kind of relationship is that?
Negative.
That's a negative relationship. Okay, so Oh, the one from class was cell phone usage and age. As the age increased, the cell phone usage decreased. That was negative. Okay? So on your, you don't have to put it into a sentence. Okay? All you have to say is that it's a negative relationship. So the choices will be negative, positive, no relationship, or nonlinear. Okay? All right, so now I need to interpret the Y-intercept. I need to interpret the ordered pair that is the Y-intercept ordered pair. Okay? And just put it into a sentence. Could anybody do that? Interpret the ordered pair for the Y-intercept. Just put it into a sentence.
Something about customers.
Yeah. Yeah, something about customers. Tommy?
Every minute, 2 customers
No, Y-intercept, not slope. Not slope. Don't go there yet. But we'll time out on that, and I'll come back to you for slope. The 0, 17. There's no 2 in this ordered pair. So after how many minutes?
17.
No, minutes.
Oh, 0.
0. Remember, it's the ordered pair with the Y-intercept. 0 minutes after 12 o'clock noon. There will be how many customers in line? 17. Stop saying 2. That's your slope. Okay? All right? So you have to understand the context here. All right? This is that the X minutes stands for minutes after 12 o'clock noon. The Y is how many customers are in line. So after 0 minutes, at 0 minutes, there are 17 customers in line. Basically, let's imagine the bank was opening. Okay, so the bank's not open yet. They're opening. Well, there's 17 people in line. That's a lot of people. And now the slope tells me the rate at which X is affecting Y. Okay, so look, as X is changing, okay, what does this -2 mean? -2. Okay, so can we put that into a sentence? Now, you can also think of it as -2 is rise over run. So -2 is my Y value, which is customers here. And 1 is my run value, which is minutes. That might help you. That, can anybody put it into a sentence? Look at how Y is changing in the table as X is increasing. How many? You're not losing customers, but there's fewer customers in line. By how many? 2. So the line will decrease by 2 customers per minute. Okay? So the rate is per however many per minute. The X value goes on the bottom. Okay? So that's why I kind of switched it and I said the line will decrease by 2 customers. This part is the -2. So if that was positive, I would say the line would increase. And if I'm the bank manager, I'm like, we need more tellers up here because the line's getting longer and longer. We don't want that. Okay? So that's my slope interpretation. You will have 4 options for the slope interpretation. Now, a lot of the scenarios are kind of similar, but you would have one that is correct. Okay? So if you know what you're looking for, it should be pretty easy to pick that out. Then we have data displays. You guys remember those? Okay. Now, on your midterm, you're only going to have 4 choices. So it's not like you have all the choices. Okay. Now, you might want to get your Chapter 6 notes out just so you have that bank of options. You know which ones were which. But I want you to go through these 5 scenarios and tell me which data display would be the best data display for that scenario. I very specifically picked these scenarios, guys. Very specifically for a reason. Okay, so I want you to go through and tell me, would it be a stem and leaf plot? Let me just tell you right now, no. Okay, would it be a bar graph? Would it be a circle graph? Would it be a histogram? Would it be a scatter plot? All right, pick the appropriate data display. Okay, Hope, what did you put?
I put a line graph.
You are correct. Line graph. All right. What's the next one? No. What tells me it's line graph? There's something that gives it away. Time. 15 years. That's the biggie, okay? It's going to be a line graph for sure. Number 33, it's a different number on your paper. What is the relationship between the amount of sleep needed per day and age? What data display? Jakari? Scatter plot. How did I know that?
Because it's a survey.
Nope. Relationship. Comparison between sleep needed per day and age. Typically, the older you get, the less sleep you need.
Wait, what's number 33?
Yep. Nope. Now they sometimes when you're really elderly, you can kind of fall asleep here and there, like throughout the day, take like naps. Yeah. Yeah. So sometimes, honestly, guys, it's definitely not like one shoe fits all. All right, but statistically.
That's what my grandma does.
Okay. All right, number 34. A survey that shows the percentage of 11th grade students preferring cycling, fishing, skateboarding, surfing. I would say circle graph or bar graph. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and just tell you number 35 because we have not spent a whole lot of time talking about dot plots. Okay? Yeah, I know. Listen up. Okay, but listen and it'll make sense. A dot plot, in a lot of ways, looks like a scatter plot. The only difference is it's just one category. Okay? So all I see here is shoe sizes of 8th grade students. Okay? But I can still kind of spread out my intervals just like I do on scatter plots. I'm just not really comparing anything. So a dot plot looks in a lot of ways like a scatter plot. All right, so just, I almost want to say just kind of memorize that if you're recording like individual results like that, if I want to know all the shoe sizes, maybe where the shoe sizes are clustering, you can still have those clusters with a dot plot. All right, so 35 would be a dot plot. All right, what about 36? What about 36? Anybody on 36?
No.
I'm sorry. I keep forgetting that numbers are different. The very last one. Why would you say scatter plot? It's a comparison. Okay, so guys, that's the gimme right there, the comparison and relationship. All right.
Get it, girl. You run the YouTube.
Is there another one?
No. Yeah. 39?
Is there another one kind of in that category? No? Okay. I must have done it on your other review sheet. All right, guys, listen up. I want this on the recording. All right, that back side of your review sheet, all those terms and definitions, that actually makes up a huge chunk of your midterm. So what I've done is I've taken that back page and I've kind of put them into question format. And that's the paper that you're going to get in class tomorrow that we're going to work through. It's not a graded paper, but it gives you a better idea of what types of questions. So I'm going to ask you something like this. What's a 5-sided polygon?
A pentagon.
Okay?
Let's go.
So pentagon was just a blank on the back of your review sheet. I'm going to turn that into a question. I'm going to say, what is the sum of the angle measures of an octagon?
5 sides?
What?
Octagon.
670.
It's
So, no.
720.
It's 1080. Now, if you didn't have that memorized, you could use your formula n minus 2 times 180. Okay? So I'm going to ask you different questions like that. I'm going to say something like, what type of transformation flips?
No, it's a
Is one that flips?
No.
Reflection.
Reflection. Okay? So that's a question on your midterm. Maybe not that exact one, but guys, do you see how I'm taking the information on the back and I'm making it into a question? What is the formula for slope-intercept? Y equals, now you got that question right. I can tell you 100% that's on your midterm. Y equals mx plus b. Point slope. Can y'all say point slope? Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. It's multiple choice, so you don't have to have it fully memorized. You just have to be able to pick it out. You think you can do that? Okay. So that's how we're turning the stuff on the back of the review sheet actually into questions, and we'll have some of those questions on that paper that I'm handing out tomorrow. For today, that's everything you need to know for part 2.